Hello and welcome to June 27th, where we're reading First Chronicles 12 through 14. Now, these are familiar chapters. If you've read Second Samuel with us, if you've read First and Second Kings, you'll see a lot of the stuff that's repeated in Chronicles. It came in Samuel and Kings first, starting with chapter 12. Actually, not chapter 12. Chapter 12 is kind of unique because chapter 12 is David talking about all these great guys he has around him. Now, there was something similar in chapter 11, which was basically a copy of Second Samuel something or other. I think it's 23. I could be wrong on that. I didn't look in between recordings. Oh well. Um, you have David with all of these great guys. You have David with all of these supporters. You have David with all of these advisors, his lieutenants, his commanders, his generals. Everybody around him is just pretty great. David assembled a really good team to help work with him, is basically the point of chapter 12. And I don't get all the minute details of it, but it is interesting that David has a lot of good people working alongside him. Now, as you get into chapter 13, this is a repeat of Second Samuel chapter 6, I think it is, with David trying to move the ark of God from wherever it was before and moving it back to Jerusalem, or moving it to Jerusalem in the first place. Unfortunately, he doesn't do it righteously. This is where Uzzah gets struck down because Uzzah ignores the command of God. He was put in a situation to ignore the command of God because David ignored the command of God, even though David makes a specific point that he should ask God what his command is. David forgot or just didn't do it. He thought public consensus was good enough, and so he ignored God's commands to go and do something else instead. That is unfortunate, and that story is recorded here as well as in Second Samuel 6. It's an interesting kind of perspective shift on what happened in Second Samuel 6, giving some more background information, and so it's very interesting from that point of view. As you get into chapter 14, we won't see the actual restoration of the ark coming into Jerusalem until chapter 15. Chapter 14 actually happens in the middle. It's recorded in Second Samuel chapter 5, I think it is, along with the conquering of Jerusalem from a couple chapters ago. In First Chronicles 14, you have all these good things that are happening around David, where he establishes his family, he establishes himself in the city of Jerusalem. And that informs what's happening with the moving of the ark back and forth, how he does it poorly at first. He feels like God's punishing him, but then in chapter 14, he sees that God is blessing him. And so in chapter 15, he will be inspired to try again. But we'll have to leave that actual restoration of the ark to Jerusalem. We'll have to leave that actual repentance of David to God and doing things properly. We'll have to leave all that excitement until next time, and that's actually next week, where we'll be reading First Chronicles 15 and go all the way through Second Chronicles chapter 3.